things going, and they just wouldn't stop talking about everything they were loving. And I said, hey, do you mind if we stop over to a location you've never seen so you can A, see that, and B, so I can grab you and put you on camera saying some of these great things. So they agreed to, on their one off day, to do that for us. And Eric has hired Kansas City crew and taken them on other shows. So he's true to his word, and he literally is that impressed with Kansas City. So the film office, as you all may know, reopened after 10 years. And it's a good thing because in this last year, we have been able to assist over 200 productions. 4 productions as a site sample of what the kind of economic impact these projects can have. 4 of these productions, and these are expenditure reports that I ask politely, please fill this out and let me know exactly what you spent on what. And 4 of those productions that agreed to do that equaled over $1.1 million. So that's the spend in our area, which is wonderful. We had a sampling of 8 productions that utilized the Visit KC and Film Office services to help them book hotel rooms last year, and we had over 1,600 hotel room nights accounted for, and there's a large economic impact for our hotels and our hospitality as well. It's a new year, so new things. Those 2 that you just heard from are from the television world. They're both very seasoned people in TV, and 29% of all of the productions that we were able to assist were television productions, believe it or not. You might already feel and know this, but reality TV is everywhere. It is cheaper. They actually do script, but it's definitely not. They're called non-scripted productions, but they are scripted. It's no secret now. They're scripted, a little bit at least. But film is number 2, and commercials is 3rd at 15%. And the reason I think that commercials is 15% is because that is actually our bread and butter here. And most of the producers in town that work productions, and there's so much commercial production here, they just don't need assistance from the film office. And that's why that number's a little bit lower. So just in the last year here, Kansas City, all of Kansas City, Metro, Greater Kansas City has been featured nationally on these channels. It's just fun to see them, and these are only some of them, so see them in one place. The priorities for the film office are going to extend from 15 into 16. We are building industry awareness that we're even here. You guys have heard over and over that we're the flyover state. Well, we're not. If you fly over us, you're going to miss out on a lot of things, including being able to shoot here at the locations that Eric was talking about. Believe it or not, we really can double for Chicago sometimes, and double for Italy, believe it or not. There's a film in theaters now at the Barry Woods AMC called Trust Fund, and I'm promoting this because it's in theaters right now. It's a locally produced feature film. They had a budget of roughly $600,000. They have actors whose faces you'll recognize. One gentleman from House of Cards. Some of the younger actors, I don't remember what the names of their shows are because I don't watch them, but they're young, fresh, recognizable faces, a very good cast. And Willie Garson from Sex and the City. If anybody else watched Sex and the City, it's Carrie's best friend. He's in the film as well. But they shot it here, and what's funny about the actors, they flew them in and they put them up in hotels, obviously, but they'd have breaks. They'd have like 3-day or 4-day breaks where they had a ticket to go home to see their families and friends. But on several occasions during the breaks, they asked the filmmakers if they could stay, and they would like to pay for their own hotel because they just wanted to hang out in Kansas City some more. So it makes me very proud that Kansas City is the kind of place where people come, and then when they get here, they're like, oh my God, I love the food, I love museums, I love, all of these different areas, just taking themselves around going, there's this neighborhood, there's this, and I experienced that coming up to the Northland. This strip on Main Street is amazingly quaint, and part of what my job is promoting Kansas City as a whole metro, and Greater Kansas City. Our office is on the Missouri side. We do get a stipend from the mayor's office, from the actual city, and the rest of the budget for the film office comes from Visit KC. And so just like Visit KC does, you know, we are promoting visitors to come in. But the other part of the job for the film office specifically is that we also want to foster the creativity that is right here at home and promote projects like Trust Fund, help create an infrastructure where creativity can explore and explode. So our own screenwriters, like the two gentlemen over there, Joe and Nathaniel, potentially can create and have collaborations, and not that the film office is, you know, responsible, but that we're helping create an environment where things like that can happen more and more. And really the film community itself does that largely on its own, and we're happy to be there to sponsor things and to think of ideas and connect people and organizations to each other. So one of the ways that we also promote Kansas City and what we have to offer, we really do have professional crews. We've had a lot of leakage. We've had a lot of our professional crew people move to places like, you know, Los Angeles, New York, Louisiana, and Georgia. But part of my job is saying, yes, that's happened, but we still do have professional crew, and look at all the crew that got to work on postseason. You know, these are technicians and artists and people who have specialized roles that, you know, these big companies can come in and just scoop them up, and they're running just as any professional, you know, shoot would need to run. So 107 of our crew people worked on postseason, and they had great stories and great access to everything going on very, very close up. Meeting with business groups like yours and meeting with individuals all over the city to make a production easy, to help them out. We need film-friendly locations. We need businesses that are willing to open the doors as it's appropriate for them, and make sure that it's a two-way street for you. There's exposure, and that's really important. There's a statistic I read out of I'm gonna botch this, but it's a 2012 impact study, a tourism impact study that said, out of a sampling of, okay, I gotta make that up because I don't remember, but I'm gonna say that 40% of people traveling commented that seeing the place they were going to was influenced by them seeing it in a movie, or seeing it on TV, or seeing it in some, you know, moving form, like right now the internet with digital projects and things like that. Being financially competitive is another one. This one's a challenge, and it's only a challenge because we are in a state that doesn't have a film incentive. The industry works as a business, and there are film incentives in states, and we used to have one. In 2013, it had its natural sunset. Gone Girl, the Ben Affleck film. It's creepy and wonderful. And Gillian Flynn, one of our hometown writers, is the writer of the book and the screenplay for that. And it filmed in Missouri. It had an economic impact of $7.9 million in the Cape Girardeau area. And we had the second lowest film incentive in the country, but it still allowed us to land a film like that. If we can reinstate something that's conservative and makes sense, but that allows us to have skin in the game, then I can do my job and work to promote and get larger level projects. So that was 7,000 room nights for the Drury Inn chain. That's a lot for the Drury Inn. The local industry, I talked about promoting and supporting local industry. These are some of the ways we did this in the last year. Through sponsorships, through participation in boards, speaking, touring facilities. I have an intern, finally, we have an intern program. I'm very excited about that. And media opportunities, getting us all out there, what we're doing, what's come into town. I do welcome bags when productions come in as much as I can, and drop those off at their hotels and put a lot of Kansas City goodies in there. If you guys have any goodies as a business that you would like me to drop into bags at any time, I'm happy to do that. Even if it's just a sticker or something, it's just everything to promote us while they're here, capture them at this, you know, short time that they're with us, and show us off. So the showrunner was from New Girls on the Block. They changed the name It was Those Girls, so they changed it to New Girls on the Block. There was an estimated total spend of just under $300,000. And I added his quote because I love it so much. 25 years of working in television. He's shot in every state in the United States and almost 20 countries. He's never had such a trouble-free production in his life. They were here for 2 months filming 6 episodes. American Ninja Warrior, who watches that show? Anybody? Can you, it's like, I've never done crack, but it's a little bit like crack. You can't stop. I didn't mean to watch that show. My husband turned it on, and I was like, what's this weird thing? And then I think we watched a marathon, because it's just amazing. If you haven't seen it, you'll see the Kansas City episodes on Esquire because they repeat over and over, and last year was a very unique year. There was a winner for the very first time. So replaying the season that Kansas City was a part of is very popular. So catch us on TV. They could not have asked for a better experience. Everything from locations to cultural activities have been praised by the staff and crew. Please feel free to use me as a reference for trying to attract more projects in the future. That's the kind of experience they had working with our people here. There was an independent film starring the very, very talented and maybe troubled Shia LaBeouf. He was, it was very hush-hush. I could not talk about it, but what's so funny is that people in Northland News, you might concur, reporters are good. So what happened was, they were rolling around doing a scene on the grass. It was like the first kissing scene, because I read the script, and this is really important. It happened on a lawn in Prairie Village, and somebody at the Prairie Village paper got a hold of what was going on, and that's the way it broke open. It was so funny, because all of us knew about it this whole time, and we were like, we want to talk about it, we want to. But the Prairie Village News broke that story wide open. It's fun. So that should release in 2016. This director's an Academy Award winner. It's a rough film. It's raw. This is not a PG movie, but she's known for doing very, very good work. And then American Girl doll. We had a bundle. Did you have an American Girl doll? I wish I was young and had had one. That'd have been so much fun. I lived in a community where I was probably the only brown girl, and I really wanted to see another one. My American Girl doll would have been awesome. But, so they did 3 commercials, and they had a spend of a little under $500,000, but boy did they hire. They hired 75 actors and over 40 crew. This was a kind of a difficult shoot, actually. The director was awesome, but she changed her mind a lot. That meant everybody had to move as fast as possible, a lot, including myself. But it was hard on the crew, it was hard on the casting people, but we pulled it off, and they're beautiful. So we're talking about this as an actual industry that creates economic impact. It's really, on the closest level, it's not glamorous. It's actually kind of dirty and tiring and long, long hours of working days, and thank you. But when we get to the place where we can promote it, that's when everything seems glossy and shiny. That's when Kansas City gets to be seen. We want to see Kansas City on more large screens. We want to see Kansas City, we want to see you guys in North Kansas City on more TV screens. The more we're seen, the more we attract that tourism. The more we're seen, the more our crews work. The more we're seen, the more our own creatives are expressing themselves and putting out quality work. So if you are a business interested in being in the locations database that we have on the filminkc.com website, please contact me. It's really easy. It's just pictures and your contact information. You don't have to say yes to everything, but it's an opening the door to a conversation. That's basically what it is. We have the same opportunity for residences. Those can either be public or not public, but I can create a listing that's private so that I contact you first and say, this is what they are all about. I've vetted them. Can I show them your listing? Are you comfortable with that? Any other unique features or neighborhoods or streets? I've got some North Kansas City in there right now, kind of a flavor of, but I'd love more specific places to help showcase us. I'll be selling Kansas City at the Locations Trade Show in Los Angeles. I will be selling Kansas City at Sundance at the end of this month. So when we go places, we optimize the opportunity. We throw a meetup, so anybody that's got a connection to our area, we invite them to a party so we can network with them, find out what they're doing, and a lot of times invite them back to either help us develop or bring a project. And it's amazing how much that happens and how often that can happen. So I just wanted to give you an overview and talk about what it is we're doing here and how potentially you can be a part of it. You're a part of it no matter what, because you're a part of this great community. But I would love to showcase North KC even more and add it to what we're promoting. So thank you so much for the invitation, and thank you for your time.